And protesters took to the streets of Madison in the name of Tony Robinson, many facing some fines tonight. Good evening and welcome to News 3 at 10. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Michelle Lee. As we dig deeper into those documents released by the State Department of Justice, we're learning more about Robinson's state of mind before the shooting.
The toxicology reports already revealed that Robinson had hallucinogenic mushrooms, marijuana, Xanax in his system the night he died. The DOJ documents reveal observations from people he was in contact with that night, saying Robinson told them, quote, "I took shrooms. I'm freaking out. I shouldn't have done this." At first, it says he acted normally, but soon began punching walls and acting violently. There's also testimony from the person who sold Robinson mushrooms, saying Robinson bought almost all of his supply and took them for stress relief.
The night team's Danica Lewis is here to provide some context to those toxicology reports. Danica.
And Michelle and Eric, we have no way of knowing what Tony Robinson was going through that night, other than the accounts from friends that describe his abnormal behavior, likely a result of a bad trip. We cannot draw conclusions on exactly what Robinson was experiencing, but we do want to offer some sort of perspective on the drugs. So I sat down with Dr. Michael Miller. He's an addiction physician at Rogers Memorial Hospital, and he says in his experience in the field outside of the Robinson situation, hallucinogenic mushrooms rarely trigger aggression.
Unless they are sort of triggering or bringing out an underlying psychotic potential, aggression is usually not associated with the use of hallucinogens. It can be very frightening, and a bad trip is basically a big fear reaction, not exactly paranoid, but a real strong fear reaction where people are afraid they're losing their mind forever. And it can be very, very uncomfortable.
Dr. Miller says mixing hallucinogens with other drugs won't compound the effects, though mixing it with medicines that already affect the brain is not wise.
Even drug users understand that there's some real dangers to things like heroin and cocaine, and so they may want to stay away from something that they in their own mind consider a hard drug, and they may consider hallucinogens to not be so hard.
Dr. Miller says users are only getting what they paid for maybe 60% of the time. Drug dealers prefer selling what's cheap over what the customer is asking for, so users often don't know what kind of toxicity they're exposing themselves to.
Danica, I know you said that aggression is rare, but could it be, or is it a possible side effect?
Well, according to Dr. Miller, Michelle, it's more about a sense of control. Someone using shrooms can feel like they're losing their mind, and that fear can propel itself into a panic attack. At the end of the day, though, other medical professionals tell me everyone reacts differently, and when you mix drugs, a body's reaction can be unpredictable and sporadic.
Danica Lewis reporting. Danica, thank you.
Sure.